tonight. The NYPD uses flag vandalism to justify mass spying. Then, will military vehicles draw new attention to the police state? And how Alex Jones predicted Jesse Ventura's vindication in the Chris Kyle scandal. That's next on the InfoWars Nightly News.
Imagine if someone said that you were glad Navy SEALs were dead. He told them, look, you retract it, I won't sue you. Welcome, my friends, to the Tuesday, July 29, 2014 edition of InfoWars Nightly News. I'm your host, Alex Jones. And we're going to have Leanne McAdoo coming into studio here in just a few minutes to break down all of the day's important information. But first off, I wanted to spend just a few minutes here tonight talking about Jesse Ventura. This story is a lot bigger than just Jesse Ventura. It's about hit pieces. It's about propaganda. It's about how the establishment media loves to try to defame and destroy people's reputation so that they can't be politically active for 9/11 truth or anti-war or pro-Second Amendment type activities. And here at InfoWars Nightly News, we pride ourselves for standing up against the little guy when the establishment tries to destroy them. Today, at about 1 p.m. Central, the jury came back and decided in favor of a $1.8 million settlement for former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura in his lawsuit against Chris Kyle, who wrote the book detailing his claims that Jesse Ventura was happy that Navy SEALs were dead, so Chris Kyle knocked him out with one punch. I was the person that got a hold of Ventura in Mexico and first told him about this back in January of 2012, more than 2 years ago. And reportedly, Ventura will be on the show tomorrow to respond first on radio to what's happened. He didn't put out an official statement today, but he told the public through his lawyer that no one is a winner in this. And he said that he had to spend a lot of money to try to clear his name, but that no such encounter ever happened. He never met Chris Kyle, and so he had to sue and had to win. It should also be noted that an insurance policy through News Corp is going to be paying the $1.8 million, not the widow of America's most deadly sniper, according to him, Chris Kyle. So it is a very sad story, and I believe that Chris Kyle was being used as a pawn in all of this to defame Ventura. In fact, I said back at the time when it happened on YouTube and on my radio show that I believed it was part of a wider psyop, and we're going to play some of those clips here in a moment to discredit Ventura. They claimed that he'd been in altercations with police going to the airport when he was in Minnesota. It was just made up. He wasn't in California. They waited till they knew that his RV had driven into Mexico and that he didn't have a cell phone and would be out of contact for a few days, so he couldn't respond, so they could put this story out and try to destroy his name. This is like WMDs in Iraq or the Gulf of Tonkin, you name it. It's a false flag to destroy Jesse Ventura. And even if you don't like Jesse Ventura, or maybe you disagree with some of the things he has to say, you have to understand that this was an attempt to destroy politically anyone that dares challenge the establishment. And Jesse Ventura is a bona fide real deal. He is a real guy. I know him well. And he does threaten the establishment as a possible third-party presidential candidate. And that's what all of this is about. Now, Chris Kyle, as this story began to unravel, was then killed in Dallas very mysteriously by someone at a shooting range with PTSD, if you believe that. It's a lot bigger than that, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm very sad to his widow and to his family, and I think that should be investigated as well. But this sends a clear message to News Corp and others to not be involved in dirty tricks against people politically. I supported News Corp in their case in England with the phone hacking situation, because clearly that was politically motivated to bring down the press. In this case, I support Ventura because it's another bully group going after the press. And I've been attacked by News Corp for that as well. All I'm doing is trying to stand up for what's right and justice. So from the archive, here are a few clips from right when this came out in January of 2012, where we laid out what turned out to be the case. Then after we come back from the clips, Leanne McAdoo is going to be sitting right here with the rest of the really important news on the open borders, on the Syria situation, ISIS, Iraq, the Middle East, what's happening in Ukraine, you name it. It's all coming up right here on InfoWars and Nightly News. Well, I started getting calls on the radio today, and at the end of the show, I was able to watch it. Fox News, Dallas newspapers, Minnesota newspapers, you name it, ran with a story today that this new Navy SEAL super sniper who was at the turkey shoots in Iraq and brags about shooting women with rifles. I mean, it's actually in Texas Monthly. This guy is in there, and he wears weird skull hats and black uniforms, just kind of an adult, warmonger type guy. I see this video of him on the Opie and Anthony show, a place where I've been a guest. It's a large show on XM, and who's been after Ventura for a while since they got in some arguments on air. I'm watching him, and I'm watching his body language, and he's looking down, and he's giggling, and he's laughing, and they go, oh, we have a caller that says you once knocked out Ventura, and you can tell it's all staged. Everybody I've shown it to says it's staged, and then he says, Jesse Ventura was at a Navy SEAL bar, and we know the one in San Diego. I talked to his son, Tyrell, and that's coming up in a moment. Supposedly Ventura, 6 years ago in 2006, is at a wake at a Navy SEAL bar. And they come over and say, please stop talking bad about the war, some of the families here. And Ventura says some of the SEALs deserve to die. Now, Tyrell says that is not his father and is pure bull. I've been in airports with Ventura where he thanks veterans for their service and says, I hope you're safe during this war, even though I disagree with it. I appreciate your sacrifice. He talks positively about Pat Tillman. He speaks at funerals and things. He would never. I mean, he talks about how horrible it is that service people are dying in these wars. He would never say they deserve to die. So Tyrell, in his words, says it's complete BS. And he said the guy's story where, he talks about sucker punching his dad and then running away. And when the guy's talking about it, he's looking down and acting like it's all scripted. But I wasn't sure about this. So for about 4 or 5 hours, I studied it this afternoon. And it turns out that this Navy SEAL we're going to show you in a moment is hooked in with Richard Pearl and Dick Cheney and some high-powered neocon and Israeli lobby groups that even The Nation magazine and others have written about, and it's super creepy, and owns a defense contractor company with security, like Blackwater, training, sniper training, and weapons systems. And he's got a big book out, and in all the neocon publications, New York Post, Rupert Murdoch, Fox News, they have this rollout about him. And I remember seeing him last month in Texas Monthly, because I've been profiled in there, and we take the magazine, and it's him wearing a skull outfit and a skull hat, talking about Jesse Ventura right as his book comes out, of how he knocked him out, because Ventura was saying, I'm glad the SEALs are dead, they deserve it. And implying that Ventura was at the bar when for decades he hasn't drunk alcohol. I've actually been in restaurants, been in bars, people try to buy him drinks. I've been drinking a beer and saying, I want a beer, and he goes, Alex, I've got blood clots from wrestling. I haven't drunk in decades. Enjoy yourself. Ventura, when I was out in Las Vegas shooting some episodes of his TV show a few months ago, we were driving around after dinner with he and his wife and I. I was driving. He's like, Alex, I'm sick of the media. Maybe I'll just leave the U.S. forever. Let them have their tyranny. They keep calling in the media and people about me in Nevada and California dancing on tables and people knocking me out. I don't drink. I've never. And the point is, he's trying to figure all this out. And he called me 2 weeks ago on air and is like, they're running psyops against me. Here's this fake story. And I go, I know. I talked to you yesterday in Minnesota. They say you're in California road raging. And he said, I don't know. I guess they've been tapping my phones and know that I was considering running for president. Obviously, they want to know if you're running for president. So all of this has been happening. And then this really creepy guy who's clearly part of this big psyop is pushing, calling anybody they kill savages, and war is great, and let's kill them all, and all this really creepy stuff. And wearing skull hats, and he's tied into all these big groups. Governor Jesse Ventura, we've seen a big national news story claiming that this Navy SEAL, who just had a book come out this week, at a bar knocked you down and then ran away because you were saying you were glad that Navy SEALs were dead. I mean, it sounds like something out of the Twilight Zone.
Well, Alex, anyone that's ever heard me talk knows that that's not true at all. I have no idea why this person is saying it or for what purpose it's to serve. But, you know, if he stated that he struck me, knocked me down, and then fled, I want people to understand clearly he's confessing then to the crime of assault. And it's assault on a former governor, an elected official, a former elected official twice. I want to clear his name because he's confessing to assaulting me, and it didn't happen. I can unequivocally tell you that I've never been punched in Coronado, California since I've been out of the Navy. I got out of the Navy in active duty in 1973, and I've never been struck by anyone. Wouldn't there be a police report? I can assure you there isn't one, and I can assure you this event did not happen because it never happened. It's plain and that simple. And what does concern me is that this is 2 times now within about a 2-week period where the mainstream media has ran with something that was completely untrue. As you know, they stated that I was tailgating a car a couple weeks ago out in the San Fernando Valley on the way to the airport, and that was solely not true because I haven't been to California for 6 months, and I haven't flown in an airplane for 15 months, and you can attest to that because you were with me the last time I flew in a commercial airliner, and that was well over a year ago. So it's 2 times now that bogus, serious, false stories have been perpetuated out there by the mainstream media against me, maybe because I support Ron Paul, who's not popular, or they say he's fringe because he stands for peace. Maybe because I support peace and not war in this country now, that makes you a target. Yeah.
Governor Jesse Ventura joins us from Mexico down on the Baja via audio, and he just learned from his son that on Bill O'Reilly's Fox, on at least 10 other Fox shows, syndicated radio, newspapers, they are all reporting as if it's absolute fact. Here's a Fox News headline: Navy SEAL sniper punched out Jesse Ventura. But, sir, his name is Chris Kyle. He has a book coming out. He's starting a big mercenary. This is not the main issue, so you're categorically denying, saying call the owner of the bar, who was, you know, one of your main trainees when you were in SEALs decades ago. Obviously, this would have been out in the news beforehand, but that's not the big issue. And I'm sad to have to raise this to you, but I know in your Facebook comment, also posted at Infowars.com, you've responded. He has gone on all these shows and said it's terrible. There's the family with the wake. He's talking bad about this Congressional Medal of Honor winner, and Jesse says, they deserve to die. You deserve to die. I mean, clearly the most horrible thing you could say, designed to destroy your character. If this isn't defamation, I don't know what is. It's one thing to say, I'm a tough guy, I, knocked Jesse Ventura down and then ran away, which makes no sense. And then to defame the SEALs and say they teach us to punch you once and run away. I've been contacted by SEALs and others saying that's pure bull.
Now, Jesse Ventura might have been joking about having his phone tapped while he was thinking about running for the presidency, but that is exactly the type of thing that the intelligence community involves itself in. And this was echoed by William Benny, NSA whistleblower William Benny. He made a bombshell revelation on the Alex Jones show today, basically saying that the intelligence community is running our country via blackmail.
Thanks to you and others, we know about the level of deception now, but now it's almost like a mainlining of this.
Yeah, the real problem is that when you gather all kinds of information like this on everybody in the planet, that gives you leverage to blackmail anybody you want. And like the KGB, this is the kind of stuff that they did. I mean, the point is, if they can't get at you directly, they can try to get at somebody that you care about. Someone in your family or someone that you're really interested in protecting.
When do you think the end game is coming? And I would ask you, what is the end game of this total surveillance society?
Well, it seems to me that they're tending toward a European-style government, or even more leaning toward a Stasi-type government, a Stasi-run government, where the intelligence service basically determines a lot of the policy of the government. And that's what's happening here. The intelligence community is more or less directing what the government is doing and how they do it, and it's basically affecting everything. Even international decisions, like they use them, I guess, to start the war in Iraq. You know, and they used that kind of information back in the Tonkin Gulf for the Vietnam War.
Well, coming up, the Department of Homeland Security has turned into a heavily armed national police force, but they're not actually protecting the nation. They're just policing us.
Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our immune support infusion blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com.